Hey everybody, welcome to What's Good Recovery. Today we have Mr. Who are you?
Oh, Brian.
Brian. So Brian, have a real talk here, bud. We go way back, all the way to I think 2009, no 21. So
Freedom House.
Freedom House. The place that loves me. Anyway, so introduce yourself, let people know, pretty much on how you knew where your addiction was.
So my name is Brian Choa, grateful recovering addict. Um, I started doing dope mainly in early 2008, late 2000, no, late 2008, early 2009, somewhere around there. Just dabbling with it, and here we are now, many years in and out of jail, doing the most, but never doing nothing. And here we are now. Mainly, I think the last couple of years, since 2020, was my biggest wake up call ever. Probably the most where I went through it, and what really puts us in where we are right now, where I'm at right now, actually.
So during your addiction, how far were you in it? And kind of like give us an example.
I wasn't as deep as I was in it after 2020, as I really got into it, and I really got into deep. I think it was more of an emotional roller coaster than it was anything. I think that's when it got really deep, and it really started affecting as to who I was. At first, it was fun and games, but as we all know, times change. The dope changed. Everything. The dope game changed. Period. We moved into that other stuff, and then we started getting that fentanyl stuff. So that's what really after 2020, after my car accident, that's what really got me.
So during your car accident, we met up over at Freedom House.
So in 2020, 2019, going into 2020 to the pandemic, I had just been released from jail into the program. I went into Freedom House. Actually, I got released on an ankle monitor to a house of torture, to the relationship that I was in with some female. And I took myself out of the situation and put myself, because I didn't want to go back to dope, but I started doing dope again there. And then I ended up going, I told my EMP officer to take me out of there, put me in at Freedom House. And when he took me out of that thing, I thought he had saved me, you know, which he probably did. From there, the pandemic started. I started working back in the union, back into the solar field, IBEW 428. Went in there, got myself squared away, and by July, I was still at the program, I got into a major car accident, and really bad, and was in the hospital till pretty much till next year. When I got released from the hospital, I got released into a wheelchair back because I had to finish, because of probation and everything. I had to finish, and went back to Freedom House and became the porch statue in a wheelchair. And that's when I met you at the beginning of 2021 when I went back and finished there. So technically, I was sober from February of 2020 all the way till June of 21, and then I finished the program, did a whole year, like 16 months of the program, and trying to get better. I was still in a wheelchair, moved in next door, and I think that's where the beginning of my downfall was. That night that I left the program, that was my biggest downfall right there. Depression hit, anxiety. I went into the deepest depression ever, and chasing relationships that weren't gonna work out anymore. That's kind of was my biggest downfall.
But at this time, you were also bedridden for a while.
No, because at the program, I was, because remember you were trying to help me walk. I was barely learning how to walk, going to therapy. Paramarada started canceling a lot of doing their pool therapy, and you were teaching me how to walk. Still, we would go on those walks, and I was still on the porch. I couldn't even go. I think by the time I left the program, I was able to go downstairs
Mm-hmm.
and up with my walker. But then the moment I moved in next door, it sucks to say that that night after all that talk, sobriety and everything, that whole time, um, reality hit me because I thought I wasn't gonna. I felt like worthless because I wasn't gonna be able to work, and I was living off of that pandemic money and unemployment that I got, and that's what when depression hit me. That moment, that night that I left the program after I moved in next door to the pre house, I got high that night because I knew deep down I was gonna depression was gonna hit, and I felt lonely. I felt alone. I was by myself, and I got high that night. The moment I left, that by 10 o'clock, shut down lights. I moved in by midnight. I was getting high, and then that whole rest of the time that I lived next door, living off of that money, all I did was getting high, getting high, getting high, getting high, getting high, getting high. I refused to admit it, but I was getting. It was I was doing it, and I didn't want anybody to know. And then it just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And then that's when I stopped. I gave up on life because I couldn't go back to work. I couldn't do anything. And that's when the reality of drugs hit me. I think that was my bottom up until the point when I got evicted. And, I mean, everybody that was going in there, most of the people that were in there, the house, you were one of them. And, Abraham, Michelle, in and out. Some of those people, are still in the streets. Some of us did change uh, for the good. One of them that I'm hoping that is getting better. Um, that was the worst. That was my dark time from 2021 all the way up until 23, 24. That was very dark for me.
I think one of our biggest breaking points at that place was, I hate to admit it, um, my stepson was probably about 5 years old, and we ended up waking up and he had the gas burners on and, door wide open, so, you know, we were all asleep, and he just happened to wake up and, you know, I'm like, dude, I'm glad he opened that door, you know what I mean? Because that would have been, we had what, one, two, three, four, five people in that place at that time, so I was like, man, we lucked out on that one. But also, so we covered the part about, the addiction part. So pretty much, when did you get back into the process to make a change?
So going back into that whole situation, that that time that I lived in that apartment, um, when I moved in, I pretty much one of the biggest things was the car accident. That brought me down, and pretty much everything was taken away from me because of someone else's fault. Um, my choices after that were because of me. But what I'm trying to get at is that when at that moment I had got accepted into the wireman linesman program at the union, and I were into the program, and that's something that I had been looking forward since 2012. I had gotten my hours to get in there, and I was just getting ready to start, and it felt like it was taken away from me. When I moved in next door, when I went to that dark time, when I fell into that big deep depression, man, I went into I gave up on life. I went septic one time because my legs swelled up like this big from sitting down and just smoking dope, and I refused to get help, um, to the point where I was bedridden. I didn't leave my room for about a year. I stayed in that room, um, pretty much. It was to the point where I couldn't even go to the restroom. I'd soil myself. I'd go to pee myself. That's how bad it was. It's still smoking dope in there. I couldn't move. I was bedridden, and it would hurt so much, that I couldn't get out. And then uh, I started gaining weight again, and so when I got septic, it's pretty much I was pretty much dying. I could have died then, and then when it came out, I just continued on, doing what I was doing the drugs, and then it get to the point when I started bouncing around. I got evicted, and I got into jumping around from hotel room to hotel room. Finished the rest of my money that I had, and I ended up at Abraham and Michelle's in their shed, in a tin shed with no doors through the summer. I think it was that longest year that I lived there was one of the worstest times that I ever had. And it came down to one day that it just said I had given up on everything. I was in wheelchair, bedridden right there. Also in a shed, couldn't move, hard to move. Just to even get out of bed, to get in a wheelchair, shower out of a bucket, the same bucket that my dog drank out of water. Um, um, Piss and shit in a bucket, throw it away. That's how bad it was. To where I one day I remember Abraham's brother. I told him to go buy me a pack of cigarettes, and that day I don't know, it was one of those days when you just like feel everything's off. And I asked him to buy me a pack of cigarettes, and he went and got me a pack of cigarettes, and I was just like, what? I was just like, those days when you just ask the big guy upstairs, like, hey man, what am I doing? I mean, you didn't kill me the first time in the accident. Second time, you didn't take me. And then this time, what do you want from me? Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I getting into? What am I, what's going to happen with me? And, lead the way, just either if you're going to take me. If not, I'm just going to shut up and get it over with. And then, I remember smoking that one cigarette, and you know how big of a chain smoker I was. Uh, Smoking that second cigarette was just the most disgusting thing in the world. And that was at the time when Abraham had gotten into Freedom House, and I think that's when it was in August. And I said, okay, it was like August 18th, and he went to. That's when I had said that was like the day before, or 3 days before. I was like, you know what? I'm done with the cigarettes. I'm done. I gotta start somewhere. And I called my mom and I told her, like, look, I need to do something. I need to get back into my therapy. I need to do something. The most disgusting cigarette. I didn't smoke it. I threw that whole pack away. I threw it into that burner, into the thing. I try to remember. I try to hit that. I had that last bit of dope that I had. I also threw it away right there because I tried to smoke and it was the most disgusting thing ever. It's nasty. I asked, like, the big guy, hey man, what are we doing? And he did. He showed me, and here we are. Pretty much August 18th will be 3 years. I haven't smoked cigarettes. I haven't done dope. I haven't done anything. But then this is another part of the addiction part that I stopped doing dope and everything, and I started going to my doctor's appointments, and whatever weight I had lost in that shed that year, that 100 pounds that I had lost in there, I moved out of there. Uh, my disability finally kicked in after so many years of waiting for that. Uh, I got, I gained literally like 200, like 250 pounds. So I literally, but when I went to the doctor, when I found out, started eating everything in my path that came into my way. Uh, Found out that I had very high blood pressure. My A1C was at like 13%. That when they did my blood sugar, my kidneys were messed up. high blood pressure. They wanted to put me on on insulin, and they were gonna try me out with that metmorphin, and literally was at 598. But I mean, if you want to call it what you want to round up, it's 600 pounds. What do you call me? Quarter trunk?
A half a ton.
So, and I didn't realize, man, how bad my health had gotten, honestly. And I thought I was doing good at that, but I mean, I looked like a beached whale, man. I was big, and they told me, look, man, you need to do something with your life. You need to do something with it. And at that point, I was just barely starting to walk with a walker, as big as I was, and that wasn't helping my hip at all. And it started, man. I remember May of last year when they told me, because it's been a year now, and right now, currently, I'm down. I went through current mitosis. I split like an atom, and literally weighed as of Friday, I was at 339 pounds.
So just real quick, on the weight situation, what do you think your weight was prior to you getting into the accident and hitting recovery?
When I was from doing all that and getting off dope, being out of jail, I was like probably like 400. Oh, I've always been big. I've always been a big guy, but I think my heaviest was at that point 600, but I don't think I was ever 500 pounds. Always stayed since after high school was like 400 range.
All right.
400 range, up and down, especially in the dope era when the dope was everything was really good, whatever. I probably was maybe in the 300s, maybe at some point, but never over 500, never under 400.
Until you hit?
Until after I really started. Like
your weight again is what?
339.
339, you're getting there, bud.
So, and I mean, I had to do a complete lifestyle change. So I used that method of just like dope, man. Dope's bad, everything, and I did that with all the sherbet. I got rid of everything. Went through going to all my following up, the doctors, doing everything I'm supposed to. I go to the gym every day. I walk now. I'm gonna have a limp for the rest of my life, but you know what? From being in a wheelchair for as many years I was bedridden to where I'm at now in a year, pretty much, because it took me a minute to start, but progressing from May of last year when I was just barely in a walker and still bits and pieces of the wheelchair, because I did have a lot of people that motivate me. Michelle and Abraham were ones that pushed me out of the wheelchair, literally, to help me get going. And get to walking, and then just starting out at the gym, from going back to their pool at In Shape, getting in and out was just using the Hoyer hose to get in there, to literally going now every day at the gym from 4 a.m. from 4 in the morning when it opens all the way till like 7 o'clock every day, or if not, if I can't go in the morning, I go in there. So I mean, my lifestyle change was complete. Like, I literally, no sweets, no nothing nothing that is unhealthy for me. I keep my calories low, everything. Huh? Oh yeah. At 11. I'll be like 4 minutes.
All right, so I want you to think back when we were all on the porch over at the Freedom House. I believe we were still in our addiction.
Yes.
At that time, because let me get right here, right? Because we would actually go out and buy 2-3 cases of energy drinks. So basically, I believe we substituted our lifestyle for the energy drinks while we were in rehab. What do you think?
It wasn't just the energy drinks. It was all that that got us that dopamine, that be energized. Because I think what would we drink? We'd go through a case a week, you and I. We'd buy the 24 case.
Sometimes less.
A Venom. We'd drink a Venom and drink 32-ounce cups of high coffee. What was it?
Biohazard
coffee.
Thank you, Biohazard. You kept us through our recovery.
that gun one, was it? Gunpowder one, whatever.
It wasn't Black Rifle. So we have
Black
bio.
Rifle, Black Rifle, Biohazard, a lot of those different coffees that at that time that we would buy, all the different blends of coffee that we'd get.
High octane.
Yeah, we mix all that up with all the, and we'd have a drink, we'd have a Venom or a Monster at that time, and then go to drink a coffee, and then go through a pack of cigarettes on the porch with Matt Dawson.
Yeah.
And we'd spend the night with him on the porch all night.
Scanner Live.
Scanner. On that all that TW Live and all that stuff. We'd spend all our time through that. Watched a few chases of them going by right there in front of the house at night, 2:00 in the morning. We're all
watched my buddy's car get hit. I won't tell you what happened after that, but
yeah, all that crazy shenanigans.
But yeah, so after all that's said and done, so we talked about the beginning, we talked about, the addiction part. What would you say right now to the person out there that is still in their addiction? I know it's hard to get through to them a lot of times because their mindset is only on one thing. Where's my next high coming from? So what would you say to the people that are going to be out there watching this and are on the kind of fence about recovery right now?
Man, some of these. I've tried to talk to a few of them before, and try to say, hey man, it's not too late to get help, but with this new type of drugs they got going on right now, it's hard, man. Like it's hard to get through to them, and I tell them like, hey man, it's never too late. Everybody's out here to help you. It's like, and it's hard sometimes too when some of them got the really cool signs, that when they're standing in the corner, it's like, I'll fight your mother-in-law for $1, I'll wrestle your mother-in-law for $1, or it's like, or they even have a dog too with them, man. It's like, it's kind of hard, it's like, I mean, God, feed your dog, but I tell them, hey man, we can, there's people out there that will help you, and people, people love you. People do understand what you're going through, and some, I think I told them not too long ago, because I was upset. I had the kids with me at the grocery store, and there was a group of people sitting there at the Superior Grocery right there at that gas station.
Oh, Union in California.
Yes, I was there, and but they were sitting all in a group, sitting. Man, they were all sitting there looking their fentanyl right there, and I got upset, and I went over there, and I was gonna tell them off, and I really wanted to. I hobbled, over there, and I told them, hey man, what the fuck, guys, follow me, guys. I got kids. There's people here with families. You guys can't be doing shit. But I at the same time, I kind of cooled down and tell them, look, man, if you guys gonna do that where nobody can see you. Nobody can do you. And you guys can still get help. One of them was young, man. One of them was young, especially, and he still sits over there on Brundage and Union on that corner right there in front of U-Haul, and he sits there. And I've given him $1 a few times, and I tell him, hey man, you can still get help. I know the few of the Narcans that you giving me, I gave him a few boxes that I had. He says he already had to use it on a friend. I see him once in a while and ask him how he's doing, but I think if you talk to him enough, eventually they'll get it through. But whenever they're ready, some of them it's too late. It'll be too late, and it sucks. But I don't wish none of this on anybody, and hopefully that we can find a way to get these people off the streets, man. And nobody deserves to live on the streets. It's like I got to live part of that life. At first, it wasn't. It was all fun and games. Running the muck and everything. But then when it gets real, it gets real. And for a lot of these people, it gets real. Some of them don't even know if they're gonna wake up. And we do what we can you know, I do what we do every year with the years that we've done it with you is on Thanksgiving go feed them and you know try to see what we can do. You know,
I forgot how many boxes we did that day. It was hard because they
on the
got
what of the when we did it Thanksgiving.
yeah, they got a lot
100.
of them got displaced, so we were driving around for I think we drove around for like 2 hours trying to locate people. And your mom and them were in another vehicle, you know.
Three
So
vehicles. I think we did it was over 120 because it was like 6, 7, 8 turkeys. That
yeah,
we were, so everybody that you know donated, thank you. I don't think Tech Express they
yeah.
donated.
Tech Express was they donated all the turkeys,
Yeah.
you know, so they were quite generous on it. Um, then so let's go a little further now because me and you've been through this whole mission. You know, you're one of the very few that I still talk to. You know, when I was in the program after being there, working there for a little bit, me and you have stayed in contact mainly the whole way. You know, you see me at my best, you see me at my worst.
Yeah.
You know, so let's fast forward to the last 2 years. Let's what have you accomplished since okay, because when I seen you last when you got the vehicle, when I seen you, you weren't able to drive, you didn't want to drive, you were just like no.
I hated everything. I couldn't drive because I was too scared to drive.
But when you pulled up in your vehicle, you know, that's when you were still at your almost at your max weight, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I bought that car. We got that car. Well, me and my wife, we got that car, and man, I broke the seat. Honestly, I think immediately after I took over driving that day, when I started driving again that day at the dealership, the seat's been broken since then. So it doesn't go forward, it doesn't tilt back. So because I was at my heaviest, uh, the seats reclined back, and my stomach literally was driving. So like I can go do this and
Yeah, it was pretty much resting on the steering
yeah,
wheel.
it was steering on a steering wheel. It was on there, and the seats all the way back, and now I sit there. The seat's still in the same position because I don't have $1,000 to fix it, and I've even looked for the used parts, but that's no here nor there. But I sit there when I sit in that car seat now, and to drive. I mean, I'm like this far away from the steering wheel now. I have a picture of it, man, and it's been from where I was, man, to where I am now. I think I've accomplished more in this than I have in my whole life in the last 3 years, honestly. Well, three going on 3 years now. From everything I've done, it doesn't amount to anything that I've done, honestly.
So with our what's good recovery, now tell us the good things that happened because I was there not too long ago for something that happened that you know I believe was pretty big for you, but also just like what you got back, you know what you got back, where you're at today, and just you know where
So,
you see yourself going.
so honestly, I wasn't. I didn't have plans for anything. I just wanted to be alone. I wanted to move away and just go live somewhere. My man, the biggest person that's been there for me, you know, after so many years of chasing, you know, a failed relationship or wanting to force a relationship that wasn't going to work, and you know, that's always been my demise to a certain, you know, to a certain extent. Um, I don't blame anybody, you know, for that, but she was there. My wife was there. She's not my wife. She's been there since day one. Since she met me at my worst, at my lowest, when I was bedbound, when I was like big ass beached whale. I was there. She helped my mom. She would help my mom. Get me out of bed. Um, Clean me up sometimes, as bad as I was. Um, she was one of my. She's been one of my biggest encouragements throughout this whole thing. Um, Never let me down. It's always been positive with her. It's always been, you can do this. She's been my biggest. She's my number one fan. My motivation, and I thank her for that a lot. And I wasn't even looking for a relationship. She wasn't even looking for a relationship, and we, you know, it started getting. I think took literally the whole time. It's been like almost 4 years now, and I finally, it took, was it in January or December that I finally said, you know what, let's give this a shot, I guess. And it took me like 3 years, not knowing that this, she was going to be my wife, and I think to a sense I feel like we moved a little too fast, but it's not. I think it's just perfect because everything that we do, we don't do it. Um, like how to put the words that I'm looking for. She Everything that we do it with love. We don't sit there. We don't argue. We don't bicker at each other. We support each other. We actually do things. We don't. Everything we do it, you know, for the right reasons. Um, I mean, I I like honestly I don't know words, but yeah, we just got married in April,
Yeah.
and I think it was the best thing that could have ever happened. And
Beautiful wedding ceremony.
yes,
I think I showed up for the after party though.
you just showed up. But it's fine, It's like we couldn't make it, but man, it's been so fast already, man. It's already been a month, yeah, but it's moving fast. We got a lot of things coming up. I don't really. I've been, I keep try to keep everything, even the whole thing with my weight loss. I've been keeping it on the down low, because it's a me thing. But now it's like, screw it. Eventually, everybody's gonna see me.
Yeah.
I didn't want nobody to really know, what I'm doing, because I was again, one of the biggest things is like I try to get away. I got rid of a lot of people in my life for that reason, because of all the negativity and everything, and I kept the people that I know were gonna be a good influence, and you're one of them because I've seen what you've gone through. You and Hope have gone through. Yeah, you've been through hell. Abraham and Michelle, they're one of the biggest people that they're there, even though I hate them sometimes. But you know, they from where we were, man,
Mm-hmm.
from doing all the stupid shit, us doing the dumb shit in storages and stuff, to where they are now, and especially what Abraham's doing. I think this is the most that he's ever done, and the longest. I think this is the longest me and him have actually gone sober, and trying to keep going sober. The things that are coming up next, I really don't want to, talk about them because I don't want to jinx it or anything. So it's just like, hopefully here by sometime next year, it'd be another good topic to talk about to see where we're at. But I'm getting ready to go back into the work world again after so many years. After what, 6 years now. I'm hopefully going back to work, eventually. So those are the biggest things, Can't say where or what I'm gonna be doing, but I mean, from where I was to who I am now, and the things that I'm doing, I think every day that goes is nothing but a plus for me. It's a gain. It's another day. It's another something positive. Everything that is happening. I mean, I have a lot of things going on. Like my days are full, and still continuing, to work on me, and the time that I didn't even love myself, couldn't trying to love on somebody or trying to be in somebody. that, but couldn't love myself. To, it took me a while to find who I was and who I am now. It's a good thing, and especially, and I'm doing it with the person that I love, man. She's she's there, and to doesn't matter what I do, she keeps me in check, and that's probably what I needed. You know, I don't have to, sit there and fight to love somebody when, or fight for somebody to love me back when everything, she didn't meet me rich or nothing. I have nothing to offer her, you know, to right now still, and yet, she's with me because of me and who I am.
You know what, Brian? I want to thank you for coming. I've seen a lot of growth in you. Over the years. you know, and dude, you came so far. Because when we're in recovery, we were still in our addiction. After that, we were, we had it was a crazy wild ride. I'll be sharing my story here probably not too long from now. But also, seeing you get your vehicle, seeing you drop weight, seeing you get a family, seeing you, Sir Lord Brian, own property.
About that, I don't know what that certificate is. I'm a sir now. I forgot.
Yeah, Sir Lord Brian.
Yeah. Lord Brian.
But you started small. Hey,
in Ireland.
Hey, you started small, but you're a homeowner.
Oh yeah, moved up shed. That's right. I'm a homeowner. I bought a overage shed. It's a New York penthouse.
But it's fully remodeled. You know what I mean?
It's
fully
good. Paid off. I finally paid it off.
Got your vehicle. Got your family.
Paid off.
Everything's going good. You got moms that knows how to cook. When she's ready to start doing catering service again, let us know, and we will put her information up there for you.
Yeah, she's going back to Canada, hopefully at Cal State. So
yeah,
doing the work for the school district.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are
looking up.
Looking up, man. I'm just grateful for everything, man. I don't. It's funny because like I don't. Some days I don't have words for a lot of things, and I feel there's days that I feel that I'm down, that I don't feel like I deserve this or really earn this. But I mean, looking at death in the face twice, and actually hitting that lowest point, it's been, I feel like sometimes it's like, well, I have a bigger thing to look forward to, or I have something to do in this life still, that I'm still searching for what my mission is, but I'm getting there, day by day, and I'm thankful every day for what I got and what I'm getting. I got the biggest parts that I needed. Finally was able to drive, off the medications that I had, the poor choices and lifestyle, that I was, unhealthy stuff. Got rid of all that unhealthy, was in people, places, things, food. No more bad food, I'm a
no more energy drinks.
No, nothing like that. Coffee is just straight black coffee, no sugar, no nothing. I'm off the sugars. I'm kind of a health nut in my own way, but I focus on that a lot. Big advocate of Ghost, not promote it, but I buy all their products. But other than that, man, yeah, I'm thankful for everything.
You guys, so we're gonna try to do this. We'll try to do a yearly update. You know what I mean, on each story we get. We got a couple other people lined up. Share this video. Share the link. If you want to hear more recovery stories like this, guys, we're gonna keep it to where it goes, and just try to spread the good word. Thank you guys for.
And if I can be of some help with anything, any words of advice, I'm not a biggest conversation about if I can help with something or anything, like, hey, man, follow me, call me, message me.
we'll put his link in the we'll put his link to his page on our page. Then like I said, just share this group with the other people you know. Hopefully we get it up there. Right now we're working on just getting the videos out there so people can see. Because there might be something that Brian said that catches somebody out there that's ready but is undecided. You know, I believe that we all have a journey, we all have a story, and when we learn better, we do better. But also, every place in our journey that we have been, and we're able to give back to the community, that's a good thing. Even though I don't go there as much anymore, I want to thank Freedom House and all the other recovery services out here in Kern County that are actually out there, trying to help people, to get into the recovery thing. Freedom House, I will say that they have a couple good staff that I talk to occasionally, and actually we have been through a lot, and it's been a while, right, guys? But join us if you want to hear more stories. Hopefully, we could get, our Amazon representative, Abraham, on the show one day, guys, and we'll get more into that later on if he comes on the show. We also have, another person that's going to be. We got a couple people lined up, guys, so we want to try to keep it going. I want to try to at least get one story a week, or every couple of weeks. So we have like 3 or 4 people lined up, but also we're going to be talking to some agencies out there that deal with recovery and just the different aspects on different things out there that are provided to the community. I got to make some phone calls on that. I'm pretty sure Aegis will do it. I'm pretty sure KMC will do it. So we're going to be working on that pretty soon, guys. So thank you, guys, and hope everybody has a blessed week. Thank you again, Brian, for coming and sharing your story.
Thank you.
All right.